Britton Wilson spent a lot of this year running the 800, and she spent a lot of last year running the 4-meter hurdles. What does she do? Drop into the quarter, win an NCAA title, run 49.48, break the American record, number 2 all time to Femke Bol. Would have been the world record before this year. Tops it all off with a really strong 4x4 split as well. You got to talk to her twice. What were your impressions of Britton Wilson? The thing that stood out to me was the move she made on that backstretch against Talitha Diggs. It was like turbo boost to the max, and then she carried that all the way through to the finish line. That was a very confident move.
Yeah, 49.48. Insane. I asked her post-race, I was like, were you thinking that you could break... She technically broke the old world record.
Right.
Like
the pre-Femke Bol record.
Pre-Femke Bol record.
Yep.
I said, were you thinking world record, like, when you went into the season? She said she was. And then also that... But then when Femke did what she did, she was like, whoa. She's like, I don't know if I can do that. But now that she's running 49.48, I think that if you give her 2 more weeks of indoor 400s, I think she breaks that. Mm-hmm. This was her 3rd 400. She ran a 400 mid-February where she got 2nd. She ran 51.14. And then she ran in the prelim 50.69. And then the final 49.48. Now, obviously, she still did some 4x4 splits. But, man, 49.48. That's quick.
Yeah.
And we were kind of reacting to, like, what did Femke Bol's 49-second 400 mean for that future of the outdoor? You're like, whoa, watch out, Sydney. Femke's going to be is good.
Yeah.
Sydney's got to now watch out for Britton as well. Mm-hmm. I mean, this is a type of performance that I think officially puts Britton Wilson in the elite tier. Because right now the elite tier was 3 women. Sydney, Delilah, and Femke.
Mm-hmm.
I think you got to put Britton Wilson now. I think it's become a Mount Rushmore.
Well, you're talking about hurdles.
Yeah.
Let me talk about the Open 4.
That too.
Open 4 takes on a whole new meaning this year. It was open because there's a lot of the big names may not be in it. What if Bol and Sydney both just stick to the 400 hurdles?
Britton Wilson just slide right in.
She's a medal favorite. She's just medal favorite, at least right now. You know, Paulino's sub 49, but if you run 49 mid indoors.
3rd race, 3rd 400.
Yeah, exactly. I know it's at altitude and all that other stuff. You gotta consider her a medal threat in both events, and a lot of it's going to have to do with what do the top 2 women end up doing. What do they end up choosing in terms of which event they go to? That's going to play a big role. But newsflash: the fastest 4-meter hurdlers in the world are really good in the Open 4 too. Right?
It is crazy how many great 400 flat runners come out of the 400 hurdles. I mean, typically, sometimes a lot of people choose the steeple or the hurdles because they're not the best at the flat version of that race.
Yeah, it's a better chance for a medal.
Better chance of medal. But like in this situation, all the 400 meter runners are glad that Sydney, Britton, Femke, Delilah aren't doing the flat 400 because they are the better of. Like USA, the 3 best 400 meter runners don't run the 400.
Yeah,
the 4 best.
You could tell by the roster.
You could say the 5 best. You could put Abby Steiner in there.
I'd still you're saying Mo, Sydney,
Britton,
Steiner.
Yeah,
as a 4th.
No, and Delilah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, I put Diggs in that mix. I think she's going to be really good.
But right
come
now,
outdoors,
though,
but yeah. Again, this was such an impressive run for Britton Wilson. The way she did it too, I thought really spoke volumes about how good she's going to be. Come outdoors. Also, I mentioned this in the pre-show. I'll mention it again. Bad news for any future 400 meter runners who don't like running the 800, because what your coach is going to do is he's going to pull up Britton Wilson's 2023 indoor season and say, look at all these 800s she ran, and then look at what she ended up running in the 400 at the end of the year. You want to be a good 400 runner? Run some 800s.
I think Mo, she won the 400 being an 800 meter runner, so it's starting to become a trend where the best a half miler can win the 400.
Yeah, exactly.